It's your boy Mike from the Nothing But Niners crew. I know, you guys haven't seen this in a while. You guys get my sincerest apologies about that. I had a couple of things going on in my personal life. I've been a little away. Your boy is back. Have no fear. Mike is here. I'm just kidding. The Nothing But Niners crew is back. We're here to bring you guys a quick debate, all right? It's debate day, guys, all right? There's not a lot going on right now in the off season, so we were sitting around brainstorming what we could talk about, and we're going to bring you guys a series of debates. This is the first one, okay? And so what we're going to do today is start talking about season expectations. Now, before we get to the debate, before I introduce who I'm going to be debating with, I want you guys to check us out on the website, www.nothingbutniners.com. When you get there, you're going to see a whole bunch of different things from blogs. We have a whole cast of writers that you guys are going to love. Articles coming out all the time about a ton of stuff, man. I mean, player predictions and roster predictions, and you got why this guy is good, why this guy is bad, and you're going to get it all over there, okay? So make sure you check out the blog section. Shout out to the writers and the contributors to nothingbutniners.com. We appreciate your help. All right, you guys are also going to see our vlog section, our video log. That's where you're going to see everything that is right here on this YouTube channel. So if by chance this is your first time watching us here on YouTube, first of all, thank you for joining. We hope you like it. And if you do, click that subscribe button, all right? And not only are you going to want to click that subscribe button, you're going to hit the little bell that's down there, all right? That's going to let you know exactly when we log in. So you're not going to want to miss a thing, okay? All right, and then you're also going to see our podcast section, okay? And over there, you're going to be directed to our iTunes page or SoundCloud or whatever method that you use to listen to your podcast. You're going to see the 49ers, Nothing But Niners podcast over there, okay? Make sure you check that out. Give us a listen. I dropped the podcast just last night, so you guys are in for a treat there, okay? And then you're also going to be led to our social media pages. Our Facebook page, Nothing But Niners. Our Instagram page is Nothing But Niners. Both of those spelled all the way out. Then you're going to see our Twitter as well as our Snapchat. And both of those are Nothing But 9 ERS. So make sure you give us a follow over there as well. All right, guys? So all that crap is out the way, all the long introductions. And with no further ado, I'm going to introduce my man, my enemy for the night. What's going on, Dillon? How you doing?
Hey, how's it going, man? Just ready for this debate. Before we get started, I wanted to show off a few things real quick. First off, this was actually my Father's Day present to my dad, but it was the autographed Roger Craig jersey right here with the certificate of authenticity and everything. So, and then the big one, all right, this is a authentic on-the-field helmet autographed by Ronnie Lott. So,
just had to, like, that's crazy, man. Badass. I should have had Father's Day with you guys. I'm just kidding. If my wife watches this, I love my Father's Day gifts. I was just kidding. It was just a joke. So you come from a family of 49er fans, huh? I didn't know that, man.
Yeah, my dad's a 49ers fan. He's the one that got me into it.
Now it all makes sense. I was wondering how a kid from Carolina came to be a 49ers fan. So, and that's where you guys are from, right? You guys are legit from Carolina, not just living there.
Yeah, my dad's from Virginia, but yeah.
Okay. All right. So yeah, so we're gonna get into this debate, man. Those things are awesome, man. And don't mess them up. And yeah, you guys caught me drinking. I'm looking at the comments here. Dillon was talking. I said something, and I thought the microphone was going to switch back. You guys definitely caught me drinking here. I'm not always drinking, though. I promise. It just helps get the juices flowing. You know what I'm saying? So what we're going to be debating today, it's going to cause some, I'm not going to say friction or tension, but it's going to be very interesting. Season expectations. That's what we're going to talk about. And then we're going to lead into whether or not the 49ers are going to make the playoffs. So I have a very simple question for you, Dillon, before we even get started with all that. What would it take, as far as season record goes, for you to be disappointed in the year that we have as a 49ers fan?
To be disappointed.
Record-wise, not performance. Yeah. I don't want you to tell me, we could be 5-11, but we competed in all 16 games, so I'm not disappointed in that. I want to know record-wise, what would it take for you to be disappointed in our season as far as just record goes?
I really want to say 7-9 would be that'd be my ultimate disappointment. If we went 7-9 or below, I would be disappointed with this season.
So my answer is very close to that. Actually, I was actually thinking 6-10. I think
That's
6-10.
almost what I said.
Yeah, yeah. I think six. I think I would be really disappointed with a 6-10 season just because we just came off of that. Um, so I expect us to improve a little bit, but I also wouldn't. It wouldn't be the end of the world either. You know what I mean? So, I mean, it is what it is. We're gonna hope for better. Obviously, we're 49er fans. We want us to go all the way. We want us to win it all. But that is actually going to be the premise of our debate tonight. What we're here to talk about is whether or not fans should expect the 49ers to make a playoff run. So we're going to flip this on two different ways. One of us is going to be saying that, yeah, the 49ers can and should make the playoffs. And the other is going to say that we should not. All right. So I'm looking at the comments here already. And I asked about the disappointment things. I said less than 8 wins is a disappointment. Missing the playoffs, at least 9 wins. We're getting 10 wins. No playoffs will be the disappointment. I'll be disappointed with less than double-digit wins. So as you can see, man, the expectations are high for this team. So Dillon, do you think the expectations are justified?
That's tough. No, they're not justified because we haven't proven it yet. Stuart in our group said it perfectly, man. We are a 6-10 team until we prove it otherwise.
That's not fair. That's not fair. I saw that, and here's my logic with that. All right. I know that we're a 6-10 team until we prove it otherwise, because that's what we did last year. That's what we are until something changes, right? The Eagles aren't Super Bowl champs this year. I don't care how you spin that. They didn't win the Super Bowl this year. So you like, I get it. I understand what he's saying, but that doesn't mean that we can't expect better and expect more.
Oh, I expect better. I'm just saying, until they give me more, I'm not going to. I don't know. I just don't know.
All right. So look, man, let's go ahead and dive into this thing, man. I want to talk about the team. I want to talk about whether or not you think this team and us as fans should be expecting playoffs. So let's just go ahead and get into it.
You want me to go ahead and answer?
Yeah, you can kick us off. You can give your argument first, and then I'll follow up afterwards.
My short answer is no, and that hurts me to say. I don't think we're making the playoffs. When you look at the incredibly stacked NFC, if we were in the AFC, I'd got us going to the conference finals, man. I mean, the AFC's a joke, but when you look at the NFC, out of our division, and I'm probably going to be hated for this, odds are we lose to the Rams. That's just the way it is. Odds are they're going to be above us. I could see it happening. I understand the argument. The Rams put together a whole new roster. It might not work out, but there's a lot of good people in that team. They're probably going to beat us, which means we're sitting there trying to get our wild card spots. And a wild card spot, let's just go through a few of the names right here that are also in the NFC. We have the reigning Super Bowl champs, the Philadelphia Eagles. We have the Cowboys, who aren't necessarily a joke either.
Oh, get out of here with that Cowboys crap, man. Miss me with the Cowboys.
The Vikings, which definitely aren't a joke. I would consider the Giants a huge joke this year. I know a lot of people disagree with me there, but I'd watch out for them. The Detroit Lions, no joke, we'll beat them in week 2, but no joke. The Green Bay Packers, with Aaron Rodgers healthy, no joke at all. They always go. You got the Carolina Panthers. They're pretty good too. The Atlanta Falcons, pretty good. The New Orleans Saints, very good. And then nobody else in our division matters. They're all bad. But, that's just... All right, let's assume here the Eagles win their division. We could say the Vikings win their division. We could say the Saints win their division. Okay? We're fighting for a playoff spot with Atlanta, Carolina, Green Bay, Detroit, Dallas, and New York Giants. There's a lot of tough competition in the NFC this year. And I just don't think that our team's put together enough to be able to beat them. I'd love it if it happened. And I think this is no discredit to Jimmy G because he's a phenomenal quarterback. But at the end of the day, you can't do everything on your own.
So, come on, man. And you can't discount the entire roster like Jimmy Garoppolo's out there by himself, bro.
But
the rest of the team
roster lost almost every other game.
Well, okay, but let's talk about that, actually. So that's going to be my point. So I'm going to say the Niners are actually going to make the playoffs this year, okay? And so my argument is going to be very similar to how you did yours. So I'm not going to disrespect the NFC. Absolutely, the NFC is stacked. You have a team that's getting Aaron Rodgers back who didn't make the playoffs last year, who should be threatening for it. Meanwhile, their division winner was the Vikings. People expect Detroit to be improved. I'm not one of those guys, but people are expecting Detroit to be improved. I get that. A team that I'm expecting to be improved that a lot of people aren't is the New York Giants. I think the Giants did a lot to that offensive line this season, and I think they're going to be a threat over there in the NFC East. I also think that Alex Smith is going to surprise a lot of people over there in Washington. I know that no one's talking about it because there's not a lot of weapons and everything like that over there, but I do respect the NFC. That's what I'm trying to tell you. And then you got to remember, 3 teams from the NFC South made the playoffs last year. Three of them. And if I'm not mistaken, didn't the Bucks go something like 6-10 or 7-9 also? Like, their record was bad, but it wasn't like a 4-win record, was it? I could be wrong. I'll look at it, but I do respect the NFC in general. But here's the thing. There's so many good teams in the NFC. They're going to beat up on each other. We don't have to beat up on everybody. It's not us against the other 15 teams in this division. You said it yourself. Detroit should be improved, right? Well, who's to say Detroit can't split with the Packers or the Vikings, right? Who's to say that the Packers won't split with the Vikings? You know what I mean? So that's 2 losses right there if you just look at it that way. The NFC East, they're going to beat the hell out of each other, just like I expect us to do here in the NFC West. So, yeah, I get your argument. I hear it and everything, but I want to talk about the Niners. I'm going to focus on us now, right? Just looking at last year when we acquired Jimmy Garoppolo, Marquise Goodwin stepped his game up. Matt Breida stepped his game up, so much so that we were comfortable letting Carlos Hyde out of the building. All right. So then you factor that in there. Then you get the factor of Pierre Garçon is coming back. That's a whole different aspect of the team that we have never seen before with Jimmy Garoppolo. Okay, so that's going to be another fun combination. Then we have a guy who's dynamic like Dante Pettis is stepping in. That's going to be something that's a lot of fun to see, right? So you look at all the things that we've done on offense to get better. Jerick McKinnon, he's going to be the finisher, man. There were holes last year that players weren't hitting. There was speed that wasn't out there to break away from things. Jerick McKinnon has all that. So ideally, if things work the way, if we get the bounce that we want, he's going to be a player that's going to make a big difference for this team. But I want to reflect on last year just to build my case. Now, we saw Jimmy Garoppolo step in, and he won the 5 games that he played for us, right? And we saw C.J. Beathard beat the sorry-ass Giants team last year. Everyone beat the Giants. But I want to talk about the stretch from week 3. You know where I'm going with this already. From week 3 to week, what was that? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. To week 6. Is that right? Oh, I'm sorry. No, week 2 to week 6. That 5-week stretch. We played the Seahawks and we lost that game 9-12. Brian Hoyer was invisible. He was just out there. It was a 10-on-11 game. Our defense did enough to win that game, right? I think we would all agree with that. But our offense just couldn't get the ball rolling. We had to settle for 3 field goals. They beat us at the end. You got the Rams game. With Brian Hoyer, we put up 39 points on that team. Now, I do expect their defense to be a little bit better. But I also expect our offense to be better also. That's a wash. And I can tell you right now with confidence, I fully believe that if we had Jimmy Garoppolo at the end of the year playing in that week 3 game against the Rams, we would have won that game. I don't think that Brian Hoyer was doing quite enough to get that victory. Then there's the Cardinals. The Cardinals game, you had Carson Palmer throwing the ball 51 times against us to beat us by 3 points, a field goal. And if I'm not mistaken, that game went to overtime. We took him down to the wire with Carson Palmer throwing 51 times to beat us by a field goal. The game's not going to be that close with Jimmy Garoppolo. Okay, now I know that Carson Palmer's gone, but if you ask me, no matter who they throw in there, whether it's Blaine Gabbert or what's the quarterback that they drafted?
Josh Rosen.
Get them out of here, man.
Whoa.
Get them out of here. The Cardinals are done, bro. And now I understand they're getting Johnson back, and I'm not going to disrespect them or anything like that, but get them out of here. I'm not worried about it. That rookie quarterback's going to be making too many mistakes.
Josh
all right?
Rosen, David Johnson, Larry Fitzgerald.
Fitzgerald is
they drafted.
Fitzgerald is 72 years old, bro. I'm not worried about him.
And he's still doing great things.
I'm not worried about Fitz, all right? And then
honestly, you're going to sit here and tell me you're not worried about Larry Fitzgerald.
I'm not. Listen, this year is going to be a lot different. And I'm going to tell you why. I'm going to get to it. We're almost done. All right. So then you got the Colts game that also went to overtime, but we should have won that game. And then there was a game where we made the switch from CJ Beathard to from Brian Hoyer to CJ Beathard, the Washington Redskins game. And that game, honestly, I don't like counting that one in the games that we lost by 3 or less, but we did. We lost by 2, but it was a lot of garbage time points at the end of that game. I was there, and I remember the feeling of, they just knew they had that game in the bag, so it wasn't a big deal. But you add Jimmy Garoppolo to those games, and I'm telling you that we win at least 3 or 4 of those games out of those 5 that we lost by 2, okay? And so if that happens, if that's the case, we're already – a 9-win team. If you add 3 wins to that, you know what I mean? This team is already improved this year. And here's the kicker. Here's my ace in the hole. Our defense is vastly improved this year. Second year in this defense, getting better in the secondary. No more of this. Let's get a Robinson over here. No. Let's get Tyvis Powell. No. Let's get Maven over here. No. That stuff is done. It's over with. We got Akello Witherspoon. We got Richard Sherman. And if one of them happens to go down, here comes Jimmy Ward. We're going to be much improved in that secondary, which is going to improve the pass rush. The defense takes steps up in the right direction. I don't see how we can miss the playoffs this year, man. This team is easily a double-digit win. A double-digit win team.
2 things that I wanted to point out from your last argument. First, I want to touch on the secondary. Yes, I agree that it has the potential to be wildly better. But first, Jimmy Ward acting like he's a good backup. I mean, he'll be hurt the first time he steps on the field. So I'm not too positive that he's the best case for backup. And we still aren't completely positive on Richard Sherman. Wow, I believe that both of those guys will be able to play. It's not guaranteed. So we can't really claim that our secondary's vastly improved yet. It has the potential to be vastly improved. And if for some reason it doesn't get all of that improvement, teams are just going to pull a Carson Palmer and throw 51 times on us all game. And
who was better at safety? Adrian Colbert or Jimmy Ward?
Adrian Colbert.
That's an improvement, right? Who was better at the other safety position? Eric Reed or Jaquiski Tart?
Jaquiski Tart.
That's an improvement, right? And Akello Witherspoon showed that he was better than Dante Johnson and Rashard Robinson, right?
Yes.
That's another improvement. That's 3 of the 4 positions in our secondary right there. Whether Richard Sherman is 80% or even if he doesn't play, we improved 3 of those positions already.
I'm not saying you're wrong there. I'm just saying there's potential for problems there. Now, my second thing, and here's my favorite one. Whenever you were talking about all those games that we would have won, and you put it all together, and you said 9 wins. 9 wins isn't enough to make the playoffs.
I said at least 9 wins. I said, now, out of those 5 games, honestly, I felt like Jimmy would have won all 5 of them, but I don't want to be that guy. I don't want to seem like the super optimistic fan. So I said if we won 3 of those games, that it would have improved our record to 9 wins. But you're telling me that which one of those – you think we're going to overtime with the Cardinals or the Colts?
No,
Jimmy Garoppolo? What was that? I'm sorry.
I think we win those.
That's 2. All right. And now, like I said, I'm not going to count that Redskins game because it was out of hand early. But look at that the Seahawks game where our offense just couldn't get the ball rolling.
I think we win that one.
That's 3 right there. And then that leaves us the Cardinals game. We went to overtime. The Colts game, we went to over. Did I say the Cardinals game? Or you said we win those 2 already, right? What's the one I'm missing?
The Rams.
Hold on.
Rams.
Oh, that's right. The Rams game.
I say we lose that game.
What?
I say we lose that game. And I'll tell you why.
That Rams defense week 3 was horrible.
The Rams were playing just well enough to beat us. Who's to say they wouldn't have continued doing that the entire game?
Are you serious? Did you see? Oh my God! I need you to go back and watch that game again. I need
the game, man.
Bro, listen to me. All right, I understand what you're saying. That Rams defense week 3 was horrible. Jimmy Garoppolo and Kyle Shanahan would have shredded that defense. Brian Hoyer was lucky a lot of times in that game. That we don't need that kind of luck. If Jimmy Garoppolo was, oh my God, I can't believe you said that. Oh, either way, 9 wins is close. You're right. 9 wins might not be enough. That don't mean that that's what our record is going to be this year.
Let's for fun add another win, make us 10-6. That's what I have said I would like to see our record be, 10-6. I still don't think that's enough to make the playoffs because the NFC is that competitive.
Yes. And okay, so this is where we're going to end this. I actually agree with you there. The NFC is so competitive that 10 wins might not be enough to get into the playoffs. That's your final argument right there?
Yeah.
All right. Now here's my
I want to make it clear for everybody that I'm not saying we're going to have a bad season.
Right.
I'm just saying I don't think it'll be enough this year.
And here's my counter to it, and we'll let the fans message us and everything. Dillon, you can give them your Twitter handle and everything afterwards. I see people talking about your haircut. You've been called a fake fan already because you don't have us making the play. You know, that comes with the territory. You know what you're signing up for. But what I want to say is I agree with you that the NFC is super stacked this year. It's going to be a very, very tough conference to play in. But because the conference is so tough, I'm thinking that the good teams beat up on each other, and 10 wins might be enough to get us in there. So we're both on the same page with 10 wins. It's just a matter of whether or not that's enough to get us in. So fans, hit us up. You guys can hit me personally on 49ers Mike_NF on Twitter. And then Dillon, give them your handle.
Dillon Frazier 98. Feel free to message me or just at me. Tell me all the dirty things you think about me now. I'll reply. I mean, I don't care. It's fine. I'll argue with you on Twitter too.
Or you can hit up the homepage at Nothing But 9 ERS over there. Okay. You guys feel free to send us anything you want. If you guys want to send us an email, you can send an email to nbniners@nothingbutniners.com. Also, we're going to start looking at some things over there. Start doing some mailbags and things like that. But let Dillon and myself know what you guys think. Is 10 wins enough to get into the playoffs? That's basically what this debate has come all the way down to. Is 10 wins enough to get into the playoffs? That's really what the difference is. So that's all I got for him. Dillon, anything else you want to say, man?
Yeah, I know Mike mentioned at the beginning of this podcast that we were going to be doing this debate thing as a little bit of a series. If there's topics that you think that we should talk about, because we can't think of topics all the time, if there's a topic you think you want me and Mike to hash it out on, send it over to Nothing But Niners. Just find a way to get it to us. You can send it to me. You can send it to Mike. You can send it to the homepage. However you want, send it to us, and we'll debate it.
Absolutely. You can even leave it in the comments on the YouTube page, guys. Yeah. I read the comments on the YouTube page. So if there's topics that you want us to debate, I'm telling you guys another one that's coming up. I already did it a little bit with Nick, but I think we're going to have to touch on that wide receiver position again, man.
I'm so ready for that one. I am ready, man.
All right. It's going to be a lot of people disappointed when Trent Taylor's little ass don't make the team this year. That's all I'm saying.
You gotta be kidding me, man.
All right, guys, we're going to get up out of here. Thank you guys for taking the time. Hit the subscribe button. Find somebody and tell them to do the same thing for us if you haven't done so already. And above all else, stay faithful. We out. Peace.